Oh yes, legends, what a major long squeeze that we did have yesterday. Price action did not manage to find support, have that sideways momentum, break lower high resistance trend line. We were just continuing to move to the downside. And CVD divergence were going absolutely crazy. We were having a huge amount of long positions entering on Bybit. CVD was just going through the roof with higher highs here and consistent lower highs, bringing that big, massive collapse that we had late last night or very early this morning, getting a major long squeeze event. Now is the moment to start believing, once we got this major move to the downside, a little bit of a dead cat bounce here, and we are consolidating. Now the question is, are we going to roll down to test the lows, create a double bottom, form this bump and run pattern here in the next coming days, guys? This is what we are going to discuss in today's episode. Make sure to absolutely destroy the like button. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can see me, guys, smash up the like button on your way in, because I got a good one for you today, okay? I've got a good one. We'll be explaining the scenarios that was mentioned yesterday. Of course, there was no long trade to look at. Short trade scalps were in your advantage until we break trend line, until we see some proof of support at confluence levels. There was no proof of support or anything. We just sliced through all the levels. So we'll be going in detail on the different scenarios here, on the higher time frame, on the lower time frame. Is the bullish case scenario still playing out for the next coming days? As long as we are maintaining above this higher low, then this scenario is still looking pretty okay. Yes, on lower time frames, we are having a big major drop, okay? Major long liquidation event. So have we washed out all of those longs and it's ready for the price to recover, forming the bump and run pattern, right? We had a bump and run pattern last week that was mentioned on the live streams that played out very, very nicely. Of course, you might think, okay, should I enter a long position right now based on the bump and run pattern? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, guys. Obviously, this could be an ABC scenario where we're just forming a 3 corrective wave structure and we're going to come back down, okay? This is pure speculation that this could happen, that we have had a bump phase, all right? And we're going to start going sideways. We might claim the lows. We might break out the trend line, which would be a confirmation, okay? Anybody that is not aware of that bump and run pattern, obviously one of my favorite, reversal scenarios, which basically creates a liquidation event. You have a major waterfall stopping out all of those major bulls. Okay, guys, and let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, guys. I've probably got the music a little bit too loud. Got that drum and bass on the background. So we've had a bump phase already. Downtrend, right? Moving to the downside yesterday. Very, very slow momentum. Consistent long positions opening on Bybit on the downtrend that just got extremely liquidated. Bybit was not only the only exchange that was opening longs. We had DYDX, okay, also opening a huge amount of long positions as well. Open interest hit all-time high basically on DYDX, okay, as we were getting the corrective move. So there was a bit of FOMO longs at the highs, which was pretty crazy, right? You got a lot of longs entering on DYDX exchange. On Bybit, we could recognize this on the CVD. You can only see consistent higher highs on the CVD, right? You're forming lower highs on the price action, and CVD was forming higher highs, higher highs, higher highs right over here, higher highs, and just consistent lower highs. You got a lot of people on Bybit entering long positions that just got extremely exterminated with that drop that we had. So this is something that we do not want to see when we want to speculate on, a reversal breakout of the trend line, okay, of this lower high resistance trend line. We just consistently moved to the downside here. No major sign of a reversal here just yet. No real proof of support, no breakouts, no pumpy action, consistent bearish CVD divergence that just led to the price to actually get this waterfall in this major liquidation event. And I've just figured out that we have had lots of long positions opening the last couple of days on DYDX, guys. I mean, it is it is pretty crazy because it's not, you know, that's these small little pullbacks are really not the zone to actually get into massive long positions, especially just like we mentioned the 𝗫_Simpson pattern here just a couple of days ago, right? We've claimed $65,000. If we do start losing these lows, we could get an epic drop to the downside to the very low $60,000 range, where I expected some support and a little bit of sideways momentum, but we just sliced through all of those levels, right? I was adding confluence levels, you know, and a lot of people might think, you know, all of those levels are, you know, are pretty worthless. They are worthless if they do not get a reaction, right? If you don't get the price trading sideways for several hours and seeing proof of support, then obviously, yeah, you can put as much levels as you want on the chart. That if you get a waterfall and a liquidation event, it's just gonna trigger all of all of those long liquidations and move down. So we had a weekly naked point of control at 60,800. We had a daily level at 60,400, right? It seems pretty random talking about the levels right now when you've just sliced through the levels. But if the drop would have started to get some support here and sideways momentum at those levels, that is when you realize that, hey, this is holding and you could get a reversal. It is time to speculate onto some long positions at very low levels, right? Unless you get the breakout, obviously, and then, you know, you're looking for the retracement, bullish CVD divergence, and then look for that possible long trigger. But yeah, this was just a big fat falling knife. So, you know, this is why you want to be extremely... That 𝗫_Simpson pattern did play out in the end. It was a bit of a dodgy one here. His right side of the face was not looking too great, right, for that 𝗫_Simpson pattern here. His right side of the face was a little bit off. I was expecting a little bit more of a quicker drop at this area, but we were slowly grinding to the downside. And there was no long positions to be taken here at this range. Matter of fact, it would have been better to get into short positions. I was very much aware with the Legends trading community, guys, we are trending down. Forget about looking for a reversal. Focus on the bearish CVD divergence that we are happening and follow the trend to the downside. The trend is your friend, and the trend was very much moving down yesterday. We were just forming consistent lower lows and lower highs and forming the bearish CVD divergence. You got lots of people entering long positions here in this downtrend trying to speculate a reversal. So, you know, it's just, I think it's absolutely an insanity, obviously, you know, when we're very much downtrending, you're getting all of those adding to long positions and stuff like that, and you're just creating a massive liquidation event. Now is the moment that I'm interested, obviously, in the long positions. I'm actually in a long position already from lower, purely based on bullish CVD divergence, the first bullish CVD divergence that we have been forming in this downtrend. The first ones have been right over here just a few hours ago. This is the first bullish CVD divergence that we've formed during the last 48 hours. Lower lows, you got people selling here, expecting the low to be claimed, right, after a dead cat bounce. And then you get, now this is the moment that you're like, okay, this is looking pretty good, right? You're forming bullish CVD divergence, you're hitting the 618 Fibonacci, and then this is a level where you could speculate on a swing long for a big reversal. You can do that if you're managing your risk accordingly. Now, let's go, I'll go through the comment section right away, guys, but first of all, want to talk about, basically the waterfall, right? The waterfall that happened, major liquidation event. There's no longs to be looked at here on a major falling knife like this, okay? Until the price stops, okay? And you see a major rebound. You know, this is the first nice bounce that you have formed, and that is the moment that you want to start speculating on the different scenarios, right? For me, it is pretty clear, right? For me, there is a zone where you could be interested in short positions here. I'll explain that right away, okay? Because you do have a daily level here, and we could attempt in breaking that daily, this could be an ABC scenario. This is still downtrending. The speculation on a reversal here is it's just pure speculation, right? This is the bump and run could happen, but this does not guarantee that we are going to be forming a bump and run, right? Yeah, the idea is great. The idea is great, but we are going to start hitting some major resistance zones right now as we speak. And this could roll back down to have an attempt and claim the higher low here, or even the lows of the major drop. Why? Because the volume is massive to the downside. This could easily be an ABC wave to the upside, right? Keeping it simple. I would like to see slightly higher levels because we are forming some local bullish CVD divergence. Okay, we have been forming some slightly local bullish CVD divergence here on Bybit. So there is some selling pressure here. There is some selling momentum. A lot of people speculating that this is an ABC move, right? And we are going to get that leg to the downside. So we are getting a lot of shorts entering on Bybit a few hours ago as we were getting the bounce. Okay, you are forming lower lows on the CVD and you are forming higher lows on the price action. So it does look like there's higher probability in claiming this high. And that's when it's going to get interesting. That is where it's going to get interesting, guys, because we do have a daily level right there. And I would say that this could be, it is possible, okay, that we could be forming a double top right there locally. And the main reason why this could be a good double top is because you have confluence. You've come in from a major downtrend, and usually a dead cat bounce, you would want to believe that a dead cat bounce is going to roll back down to the lows. We had a very similar scenario here, okay? That would be hitting the 1.6, the 1-to-1 extension from this pivot low to the pivot high to this pivot low. That 1-to-1 extension for a possible ABC is sitting where the daily is. That daily close and open that we had from the last 2 days, right? It's a new daily level. And when we do analyze this situation, yeah, we can speculate that this is maybe a 3-wave structure right there. If we start breaking through here, this level, I'm going to give priority to the bulls. I'm going to say that, you know, a possible V-shaped recovery is possible. So for the bears, you would have to reject from the daily. You would have to reject from the 1-to-1. And that is a moment where you could just manage risk very, very nicely, right? Just look for on the confirmation of the rejection, you know, just managing risk with the stop loss above the wick high, give or take a bit of room, because this could play out very, very nicely. You're going to come back down to the lows and it's going to actually break through. So I need to see that rejection from the daily, right? Keeping it simple. That could create that local kind of double top right there. That would be an ABC move. You want to see the rejection from the daily. You're hitting the 1-to-1, 105 extension, right, as a minimum target zone for a C wave. And then you can kind of speculate, okay, this could actually roll back down in the next coming hours. So yeah, the local trend from the last 2 days is bearish, and we could get that leg down. This has just been a 3-wave corrective structure after this epic drop that we had early this morning or late last night, depending on where you are. And we're just going to roll down, right? That would be the main idea of this downtrend, right? Just keeping it simple. Major move down, very impulsively. Now the question is obviously, you got this to do Elliott wave count would be extremely complex. You just got multiple 1-2s here, and then obviously you're looking for this to be a 4th wave and a 5th wave down. But if you start getting above you start hitting the 1.618. So if we extend to the 1.618 in the next move, we're staying above the daily level, and we actually extend to the 1.618, which obviously would be with the lower high resistance trend line. It would be like an attempt of a breakout. I would say, hey, there's a high chance that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to correct, and then you're going to continue to the upside, just getting a full reversal here. So yeah, the decision making here is basically rejecting from that daily level not extending well above the 1236 Fibonacci extension, so you can confirm that this could definitely be an ABC, and you're going to roll back down. So, you know, like I said, the decision for the shorts is gonna be here at the rejection of the daily, keeping it simple. That daily level is basically the close and open that we have here from a few days ago. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was we got a new daily all the way up here, but it's an old daily. It is actually an old daily level, guys. My bad. It's an old daily level, so that was smashed through. So it's not really relevant. It's not really relevant. Okay. Nevertheless, it is a good daily close and open that could provide resistance, right? It's been a previous level of support that could be back tested as resistance. Okay, so overall, that doesn't mean that this scenario cannot play out as an ABC move, but it do get that significant rise, right? And we're not rejecting, so you'd have to classify this as a possible double top failed auction, and then speculate for that reversal based on an impulsive move, an ABC 3-wave structure. You're looking for the price to roll back down. I would still use that daily level as, you know, basically relevant for that rejection without a doubt. So yeah, that's obviously the bearish case. If you start pumping and start hitting $61,000, then I have to say that the full reversal is very much a possibility. Now, let's zoom out as well and talk about the different bullish and bearish case scenarios that we were talking about the last few days, right? The extreme bearish case scenario, obviously, is that this has been a corrective structure in an ABC or a WXY, right? This has been a massive impulsive move. You formed a 3-wave move here to the upside, meaning that all of this is starting to be impulsive, right? And we are going to move to the downside. There is several scenarios regarding Elliott wave theory. The contracting diagonal is not looking too great at the moment, because basically when we do take a look at a channel here from the pivot high, okay, we are basically at the support of the channel, right? When we do get the higher highs created from the last few weeks, and we take a look at this low right there, we kind of just tapped it. I think we missed it by $1. Or we just basically tapped the support, right? So it's no longer a contracting diagonal, at least on Bybit. I'm not sure on the other exchanges. So the idea of this being an ABC, basically a 1-wave, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's no longer contracting. So you'd have to look at an expanding diagonal, okay? Basically an ascending, broadening wedge kind of style, even though if you do break down here. Possibly on other exchanges, it's slightly higher low. So you could arguably discuss that, yeah, it could still be a contracting diagonal. But overall, it's basically hit the support channel to the dollar here on Bybit at least. So that scenario is not looking too great for a contracting diagonal. You'd have to go with the other bullish case scenario, which is an expanding diagonal, okay? Which is basically, let me see if I have my Elliott wave theory folder here. Anybody that, so overall, this was a scenario that we were looking at. However, this liquidation event has got a major drop, okay, that has obviously is no longer contracting. So we would be looking at the other scenario, which would be an expanding one, which is extremely rare, and we would still have to create another low. I would still be interested in this possibility. Just because of the amount of confluence that we do have here at the lows, okay? And I'll explain why there is some pretty nice confluence here at the lows. But let's keep it clear. There's no guarantee that we are going to come down to the lows here, right? When we form such a massive drop to the downside, the idea of a dead cat bounce is we are going to come back down to fill the lows. I've seen many times that the lows after a major drop are basically not claimed, right? You just get a massive high volume drop and the lows are not claimed. The latest bump and run pattern that we mentioned a few days ago, it was last week on Wednesday, was this one right over here, right? Where we did get the bump phase, right? We were downtrending, forming this downtrend. We got a bump phase, and then we got a bounce. You get the higher lows right there. And then obviously you would believe that this is a dead cat bounce and we are going to roll back down to claim the lows, right? That's the overall idea. It's downtrending. Oh my goodness, this is extremely bearish. We're going to come and claim the lows after this dead cat bounce. However, this bump and run scenario did play out very nicely. We got a bit of volatility. I think we had news here. We had some news on last Wednesday, and we just created a bit of volatility, pump and dump action here. But the bump and run scenario did play out very nicely from last week, right? This was something that we were speculating on, a possibility, right, to come above $61,000 and basically claim the highs, right? So finally breaking out from that trend line and, you know, getting the target zone, which is basically the highs from the start of the bump and run. And you might believe, you know, you must be out of your mind. You must be out of your mind potentially, especially for all of those bears, right? I did have a lot of bears that were discussing this scenario sets, you know, thinking that I must have smoked some crack before doing the analysis, right? But it played out in the end. So now obviously the speculation is that we've had a bump phase, we've had a major long squeeze liquidation event, and that is just basically a nice reset on the market to finally continue to the upside. So we need to believe that this is without a doubt a scenario that could happen, right? So a confirmation zone, how would I speculate on this bump and run scenario? How can I get into a trading setup? Obviously this is not a good zone to long. This is actually an acceptable zone to speculate on a short on the lower time frames based on this being an ABC, right? And we're going to come down to the lows in the next coming hours between today and tomorrow. So this is not a zone where you would enter longs, even though if the price does V-shape recover here and start breaking through. This is not a great level to get into a long, right? Period. It's just, you know, you would want a long at lower levels or a confirmation breakout of this trend line. So we are going to, you know, let's just say with the speculation, some different setups here on how you would have to execute this speculation bump and run pattern, right? Because for the moment, we are downtrending on the last few days, right? For the last few days, we've been downtrending. So you need to give advantage locally to the bears, right? Bears are still in control here. So the speculation of looking for a reversal here is insane, right? We can talk about the pattern, we can talk about the bump phase, but that, you know, for any irresponsible traders out there, this is never in a million years a good level to long, especially based on risk management. Never in a million years you would long here the pump after this major drop and this dead cat bounce, forming a three-wave structure like this. If anything, you would want to attempt a short position, especially when you're hitting the 1.618 extension, right? When you're very close to the 1.618 extension, you're forming local bullish, bearish CVD divergence. So those highs have high probability in being taken. So a local swing failure pattern is kind of an acceptable scenario here to look for a short trade and stop loss above the high once you reject from the highs. I'm going to say it's acceptable. It is very much an acceptable short trade, purely based on this being a three-wave ABC scenario, right? And then obviously you get in the next move to the downside that probably can move down very aggressively. So, yeah. Local scenario is bearish. Anybody that is looking for swing long positions, day trade scenarios are in favor for shorts, okay? Let's recognize that. Day trade and scalp are better for shorts. For a swing long position, what you would have to see is, for example, this first sign, right? When we do have this price action to the upside, this bounce that we've had, right? Without a doubt, you need to recognize that this is an A wave. This could be a B wave. This could be a C wave or a third wave, right? So this was an acceptable, aggressive, long position with stop loss at the lows, right? Why was this a good, aggressive, long position with stop loss at the lows? Purely based on you're forming an A wave here. You're forming an A wave. You could be forming a B wave, and you're looking for that C wave to claim above the A wave. Not only that, of course, you can not only randomly trade based on, we formed a 3-wave move here. This could be a B wave, right? And we're hitting the 618 Fibonacci, right? 618 golden pocket, the most respected fib level. It's being hit. So yeah, let's randomly get into a long position here based on 618 Fibonacci, right? Well, looking at the counts on Elliott wave theory, you could obviously speculate on that move to the upside as well. But what you had here, most importantly, is confirmed bullish CVD divergence. The first bullish CVD divergence that we've had in the last 48 hours, last 48 hours, the first bullish CVD divergence only started to form with this movement to the downside, claiming these lows, which was the lower lows formed here on the rest of exchanges. The first time forming bullish CVD divergence during the last 24 to 48 hours was here. So that would be the first speculation long to basically claim these highs, you know, as a target zone. First of all, these highs as a target zone. And here's when you're speculating on, okay, we've formed a 3-wave move down here, and you're speculating either in a ABC, which does look like has the highest probability at the moment, this being an ABC, and we're just going to get a big major dump right now in the next coming hours, rolling back down to the lows. Of course, the most bullish case here would be speculating on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 formation, right? Where you're looking at this as a wave 1, this a wave 2, and you're inside of the wave 3. Obviously, you want that explosive breakout in the next coming hours. I would say that this is still very much valid. And what could happen here is something very similar that happened last week on lower time frames that we did long. We did long that trade in the Legends trading community, looking at the invalidation levels. And I'm going to explain that scenario because overall, the easiest one here would be a double bottom, right? You come back down here, boom, you wick beneath this level. You get beneath the previous week lows, right? Because we do have the previous week lows right over here. The previous week lows is sitting at $57,753. It would be nice to wick down below previous week lows. When we do take a look at the weekly time frame, right, and we zoom in and take a look at previous week, the previous week lows has not been claimed. It would be nice. We always like previous week highs or previous week lows being claimed and getting a swing failure pattern, right? Look, you can see the last week here from July was tested, right? The third week of July was tested on the 4th week of July. So you got that previous week high tested, and then you created a massive swing failure pattern. You got a major dump. So I'm going to say I like the previous week lows without a doubt. You know, I very much recognize that previous week levels, previous week highs or lows can be tested and you can form a swing failure pattern, right? Just like we had here the last week of July. So the previous week lows have not been claimed. Would I be interested in a local double bottom on lower time frames? 100% yes. 100% yes, without a doubt. If we do come down and claim previous week lows, okay, when we zoom in on the lower time frames, if that were to be the case, right, that it does look like that this is going to happen, right? The price action is bearish. We can speculate on a reversal as much as we want, but if we are trending down, then obviously we need to give the bears priority here locally, and that they are in control. So we get this leg to the downside and we claim the lows, right? This is the moment that you're going to be rushing your tits off, right? You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, we could be getting a huge massive drop here after claiming the lows from the dump. Previous week lows is slightly below the drop that we had late last night or early this morning. So this is a double bottom that I would be interested in without a doubt. Without a doubt, I would be interested in this double bottom, and I would really speculate on a possible bump and run reversal pattern. This is my interest zone without a doubt to get into a long position, and it's a swing long position. It's a speculation that the low could be in and we could reverse all the way back up to $65,000. You might think you must be out of your mind. You must be out of your mind that this is going to happen, but you need to risk peanuts here. You can risk a few peanuts, right? You're risking 2 peanuts and you're gaining 20 peanuts possibly, right? If this were to play out. So the risk to reward on speculating that a bump and run pattern can happen is definitely worth it. You just manage risk, right? Don't go too crazy, because you know it could definitely lose that low. It could definitely lose that low. And basically go to lower levels, right? Which we're going to talk about now in the next coming minutes. But without a doubt, it's a scenario. We've had a bump phase. We've had a major long liquidation. Now, obviously, you're going to see more people bearish, right? You're going to see more people bearish after this event. And once we break out and go back up again, then you know we're going to see the reverse scenario, right? People very, very bullish. So we are trying to basically predict on a swing trade perspective. Like, don't get me wrong here, bears on the local time frame, they have priority. This is very, very likely and very possible that we formed an ABC move to the downside here, to the upside, sorry. And this is a 3-wave structure, and then the price is just going to roll back down to there's the lows. Don't get me wrong here, this is very likely to happen. Especially once those highs are claimed, hitting the 1-to-1. If we do reject from that level, without a doubt, you can speculate on, you know, a possible move down here, as explained, right? As explained, right? At the beginning of the stream. So, if you're looking for a swing long, you either look for the double bottom, or this is another case scenario that happened last week, guys. This is where we entered the long very aggressively. Let me get this channel and clean the chart a little bit here, because this is extremely technical, guys. Let me just go right away. Let me delete this channel. Where it is? There we go. Let me get some levels out of the way here, because what we speculated last week was, with this move to the downside, I entered a long position at this level right over here with stop loss beneath this low. Okay. And what we were speculating here last week, that played out very nicely in the end, I gotta say, played out very, very nicely. And this was explained on the live stream. Go and check out the live stream from the 21st of August, because we go in detail of the bearish invalidation and the bullish invalidation and the possible projection if the bump and run pattern were to play out. So this gave a massive risk to reward of 5-6 to 1 in the end. It played out beautifully. It was explained on that live stream. Go and check it out. So I'm gonna talk about the possibility of, hey, what if the price formed a 1-2 right here, and this is a double 1-2 scenario right over here, right? Because you're looking for another, third wave, another impulsive move up very aggressively. I have to say that this is also very possible here. However, we need to check the price action. We need to check the price action that is formed here to the downside. if we move down here, okay, if we do move down in the next coming hours, you are going to believe, psychologically, you are going to believe that these lows are going to be hit as we're moving down. You are going to believe that. I'm going to believe that. We're all going to believe that this movement to the downside is going to sweep these lows. And this is when CVD comes out to play. This is when CVD comes out to play. Because if we were to move down here now in the next coming hours, right? Say we claim the high first and we reject. And we come down in a three-wave move to the downside. Something like this as well, right? In a three-wave move down. And we form insane bullish CVD divergence. CVD is going crazy here with lower lows. CVD is going crazy with lower lows. You're getting a huge amount of people entering short positions because they are targeting these lows to be hit. They will be, their game plan, okay, of the bears is take out this low and even take out the low of the major drop. Okay, that's going to be their game plan. And you're going to see a bunch of shorts entering at this movement down. Maybe not. Maybe you're not going to see a huge amount of shorts, and then the price is obviously going to get that movement down just because the lack of bullish pressure. So if that were to be the case, here, where we are getting insane bullish CVD divergence on the movement down, and I would definitely speculate on the same scenario from last week. Okay? I would definitely speculate on the same scenario last week, which would obviously be a double 1-2 right there, where you are forming a 1-2 and you are in the first wave 1 here from the third wave, right? So what it would be looking like is something like this. Right? Of course, we need to see what is going on here on the drop, okay? Because like I said, there is higher probability that the price will roll down and claim those lows, all right? So we really need to pay attention on this movement to the downside, and I want to see incredible amounts of short positions entering on the movement down because they are going to try to target the lows. The bear's target is claiming those lows. They are going to try and push the price down. And if we move down here in a three-wavy structure, okay, and we form incredible bullish CVD divergence, you're getting, shorts going absolutely insane here in the next coming hours. That is going to be a possible double 1-2 scenario, okay? And obviously, the best level of retracement would be the 618 to the 78 Fibonacci, which would be like extreme lows. This would be the zone that you would want to speculate that could happen. And you need to see bullish CVD divergence. If you do not get extreme lower lows on the CVD, I am not interested in this scenario. If CVD starts dancing around, and matter of fact, you're getting long positions entering here on the retracement, and you're seeing CVD going higher, forming higher highs, right, as we're getting the movement down, that means that long positions are entering here on the retracement that are likely going to get liquidated. So CVD divergence, we don't want to see higher highs, right, or even sideways momentum. It is very, very specific that we need to see the insane lower lows on the CVD, right? I mean, not insane. As long as we do get lower lows from this pivot, I would be happy to speculate on that scenario, because this is exactly what happened last week. This same scenario happened last week, guys. Let me zoom out here on this scenario, right? Without a doubt, with this major drop, with this dead cat bounce, you would have to believe that this is an ABC move, right? You would have to believe that this is a three-wave move to the upside and the lows are going to be claimed. This has been an ABC. I'm looking for these lows to be reclaimed in the next coming hours, right? I'm looking for the push down. We did get the push down, this was the retracement that happened. I would be interested in speculating that we could see something similar in the coming hours. And the main reason why this was a great long position that we did enter in the Legends trading community in the Discord, that was also highlighted on the live stream on YouTube, was because we actually had people shorting the market right there. We did see it on the CVD. So when we do zoom out and we analyze that price action that happened here, the bump and run phase that happened, we did get those lower lows on the CVD. So we got higher lows on the price action. You're speculating on an ABC, move back down. And I mean, this really needs to happen, guys. We need to see the bullish CVD divergence to speculate on a 112. Because, you know, I do think that the lows could be claimed, especially if we do not form bullish CVD divergence. So most importantly, on the blue, right, on all of the exchanges, you had a bunch of people shorting the market on the movement down. This was good. You were forming lower lows on the CVD. You got people shorting, expecting that those lows are going to be claimed, right? And obviously, that did not happen. You got the bump and run pattern happening very, very nicely, just getting that massive rocket to the upside. Now, this is slightly more higher time frame, of course. This is, you know, it would be, we have to see a lot of data, obviously, to speculate that even could happen, right? Because for the moment, like I said, this is, you know, I would be very much interested in that long, guys, down here, if we form bullish CVD divergence. And just to be clear, it has to be in between 58,800 and 59,100. And, you know, it's the risk management is simple. The risk management is stop loss beneath this low. And here you're projecting a major move up. So, like I said, we need to move down very slowly, have a massive absorption, right? We need to see that absorption. We don't want to see a waterfall. If we waterfall down, then yes, okay, we're going to claim the lows. We need to see absorption. I need to check the price momentum and form that really nice, solid, you know, three-waver, very slow and massive bullish CVD divergence. Get a lot of people shorting the market as we're getting the movement down. And then obviously look for that reversal, right? Because stop everybody that is shorting late, that did not short the last couple of days, right? So it's a trading idea, the same trading idea that happened last week. But like I said, we're talking about the possible bullish reversal signs. But locally, the highest probability scenario here is an ABC for the moment, okay? So just for anybody that is, you know, not aware, because hey, as technical analysts and traders, we look at bullish cases. You know, the level where I would get into a long, there's no way in a million years I would look for a long here, okay? If we come down, form bullish CVD divergence, I can speculate on a 112. I can manage risk very, very well with my invalidation, and I got an insane projection if that 112.3 does play out. However, that is not the highest probability move at the moment. The highest probability move at the moment is actually pushing down to claim the lows. Okay, so it's just bringing the different plans and ideas here, guys, to you right away. Yeah, it still looks pretty good actually to claim these highs. Even though if we do get a small pullback here, I do think that we could be claiming these highs very, very likely. Because you are going to get a lot of people shorting the market at this zone, in my opinion, based on this scenario, right? We've claimed the highs, we're rolling down, and you're probably going to get one quick move up. That would be the ideal trigger. Get these local bullish CVD divergence that have happened on Bybit, which is the, you know, higher highs, higher lows on price action, lower lows. Claim one more time those highs, if possible, and then see the rejection. So that would be the ideal scenario here. Claim those highs one more time if possible, before getting a major drop. If you're speculating on the bearish case, right? Which would be that ABC scenario. So ideally, you would want to see that high being hit. Something interesting is that you haven't hit the one-to-one extension either, right? One-to-one extension has not been hit. And that's kind of a minimum requirement for the ABC, right? So you would want to see another high here being taken. You want to see another high, get that high being claimed. Then I would say, okay, you can speculate on that roll down. If it rolls down from here very aggressively, I would say, well, it is what it is. But very, very likely going to get one more push here to the upside. So let me go through the comment section, guys. I'm just spitting out a lot of information here. I'm spitting too much information. Let's go through the comment section. I want to know. I want to know. Are you bearish on Bitcoin at the moment? You know, are we going to? I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple. Are we going lower in the next coming hours? Are we going lower in the next coming hours for Bitcoin? Are we going lower in the coming hours? Let me know right away, guys. What do you think? Are we going down? Are we going lower in the coming hours for Bitcoin? Yes or no? Or are we going to start reversing in the next coming hours, right? Next couple of days. I want to know your opinion. Let me know on the poll, guys. And I'm going to go quickly through the comment section. I haven't paid attention to the comment section. Sorry, guys. My bad. Let me go quickly through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. Right away. Aditya, my man, smash up the like button. Thank you very much for joining. Let's go, Andy. Mustafa, how are you? Hello, Andy. Say hi to Jessa from the Philippines. She's watching you live always. Sam, thank you very much. Hello, Jessica. Jessa. Unideath. Who survived yesterday's toilet flush? Raise your hands. Well, I haven't been trading the last couple of days, unfortunately. Just because I missed out on that double top, guys, that happened on most of the exchanges, right? Most of the exchanges did take out that double top that we mentioned a few days ago, right? BTC claiming those highs on Binance, on Coinbase, and it was the shorting level that was mentioned on a live stream, right? Just 3 days ago, guys. Claim those highs from last Friday. Look for a short. We're looking for an epic drop at least to the low $60,000 range, right? So that high was claimed on most of the exchanges. I mean, this happened at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I missed out on that short position. I was sleeping. I don't put limit orders when I go to bed. That is that is a full recipe to get extremely wrecked, obviously. Unless you're having a stop loss, give or take, you know, you're managing. You can put limit orders if you're managing risk without a doubt. But I prefer to miss a trade than actually, you know, say, what if we do this? And, you know, start imagining, you know, your different trading setups. You don't know if you're going to break or not. So overall, we're looking for those highs to be claimed. Then look for a pullback, at least to the range lows of the weekend, but also speculating that, you know, hey, we could actually pull back down at least to the low 60K levels based on purely based on Elliott. I explained this on the video 3 days ago, right? We ain't going to go through the videos from the last few days. It's just going to take a lot of time. If you want to go and check it out, go and check it out, explaining why that movement could happen after claiming the highs. Of course, yesterday I was expecting, let's say, guys, I was extremely wrong about the price holding the low $60,000 range, right? We're talking about levels of confluence and what I wanted to see based on yesterday's video update, right? So it is extremely important to understand what I want to see on the price action, right? I want to see the price holding. I don't want to see a falling knife. I ain't putting a limit order here and going to sleep and then waking up in the morning and say, oh my goodness, you know, I'm underwater. I got stopped out. I got liquidated. There's none of that. I prefer to sleep tight, wake up, and then look for a day trade, you know, scenario based on the data that I'm having today. So when yeah, I gotta say, you know, I was looking for one of these levels, either the weekly naked point of control. We got a massive high volume node from that price action that we had 2 weeks ago, right over here. All right, just around about a week ago. Big high volume node. There was nothing happening here, right? That nothing happened. We just sliced through the level, and of course, this was fueled based on aggressive bearish CVD divergence consistently happening yesterday. When we do take a look at, you know what would be in a good short position that happened also very early this morning or late last night, depending on where you are, was this movement that happened yesterday. You do not want to speculate for a reversal coming down here. You're downtrending, right? You're in a downtrend. Why on earth would you speculate on a reversal in long positions here? When you are forming bearish CVD divergence, you got a huge amount of people on Bybit there, and also DYDX. I can see that exchange as well. That was just open interest went through the roof here. So what happened here on this movement was you came to the VWAP. You're very much downtrending. You come up to the VWAP. As you having this movement to the upside, you are forming incredible bullish, bearish CVD divergence. You're getting insane new higher highs right there after coming down. So it's a full recipe that you got a lot of people longing here. Lots of people longing. Higher highs, lower highs. Absolutely exterminated here with this movement to the downside. So yeah, I mean, this was without a doubt a good shorting trade, because you have your clear invalidation based on the bearish CVD divergence. Your stop loss needs to be above this high. That's it. If you break out the VWAP and break out from the lower high resistance trend line and claim the invalidation of the CVD, then obviously you're out, right? You don't want to fight the possible breakout. I mean, if this would have got a breakout, you just want to get stopped out, right? So this was the best short coming down to claim the lows again. I'm not saying this move, but I'm saying down here, it's not, the risk to reward is not that massive, but that would have been like the day trade scalp short to take, the clearest one based on new bearish CVD divergence forming. So let me go through the comment section, guys. I'm just spitting out lots of information here. Yesterday had a nice short and Oasis is back. Beautiful day. Aloha, Valerie, how are you doing? Thiago Diaz, smashing the like button to wake up Andy. Thiago, thanks, my man. Was a little late, as usual, entering into the live stream. Daniel, good bump and run. It's pure speculation. The bump and run is pure speculation, but now is to believe that this could happen because we've had the bump phase. We've had a major drop. And yeah, without a doubt, now is the moment to believe that this could happen, right? So, like I said, the bears are in control. They're very likely going to have an attempt in coming to claim down these lows. So, you know, this area, this bounce is without a doubt good for short trades. I would really want to see that high being claimed again based on local bullish CVD divergence. But overall, the highest probability right now locally is this to be an ABC, and we're rolling back down to the lows. Unless data changes. If we roll down here, trying to break down, and we form insane bullish CVD divergence, I'm going to speculate that this could be a 1-2, 1-2, bang 3. Without a doubt, unless you're in a long position already from that 618 and the bullish CVD divergence that you formed right over here. Right, this was relatively, I really like to look for third waves or C waves. They're my favorite, guys. You know, the moment you form a dead cat bounce or a move to the upside, and or a move to the upside, and you're moving down here and you're moving up, I love to get into these kind of movements and kind of predict the third wave or the C wave, especially when you're forming, in this case, those bullish CVDs, right? So just speculating on that, you know, either a C wave or a 3 wave, right? Which was obviously in this case has low probability based on the major drop. Now, next scenario here, what I do like, I'm just getting you ready, guys, for a possible swing trade, and be aware that this could be a massive impulsive move down. We're going to start claiming $56,000 in the next coming days. I do see the possibility of this happening. So you want to be very, very cautious and very selective with long positions, unless you get the breakout, right? If you get the breakout, and usually it doesn't have many pullbacks. When you get a breakout of a bump and run scenario, you have a lot of people waiting for the pullback, right, to actually get into the long position or the back test of the trend line, right? And usually when you break out from a bump and run, the price action moves up very, very fast. It's usually quite fast, and you're looking for that pullback to get into the long, and it just leaves without you, right? It does happen. So it will be very difficult to wait for a pullback if we were to break out the resistance, right, and we form that bump and run. You just have to watch very, very carefully to the local levels of support, local bullish CVDs, and just hop on into the train and you know, give or take a bit of room. You need to be aware always of fake outs. This is why I'm not a huge fan of breakout trades. But it could happen very, very fast. Bump and run patterns, you know, when they break out from the trend line, in this case we had a bit of news volatility, so you had a bit of time to decide if you want to get into that pullback. But usually the run is very, very fast. Usually the run is, it takes just a few hours in this case to run up here. So it's obviously very, very complex to get into a long position on a breakout, right? Because you're looking for that pullback, you're looking for a retest, right? Or either these highs to flip as support, right? Very easy, right? Technical analysis, just resistance, support, flip. You're testing the trend line, off we go. I'm in the long trade, stop loss, give or take a bit of room beneath the trend line, and yeah, I'm in this epic trade. But most of the times you would break out relatively fast, and it will be, you know, very, very difficult unless you're FOMOing in the long position. But you just need to be aware of the fake out, right? Where you get that breakout, you FOMO in, and then, you know, you completely reverse. The best scenario would be that 112, right? Only if you form bullish CVD divergence, that is your best chance to get in at the lowest level possible. And I know it will be looking scary. Nobody wants to get in a long position as we're moving down here. I wouldn't either if you're forming a falling knife. If the price action is just moving down like this, obviously I would not look for the long here. Only if you move down in a nice 3 wavy move structure, you're forming bullish CVD divergence. It is taking quite a bit of time to actually move down, and you're just getting a lot of absorption going on. Then obviously I would say, yeah, okay, stop loss at the low, long trigger here, and you're speculating on that 3rd wave after that 112. So if the price, you know, just getting people ready for that possible swing long trade, if we were to claim the lows from this drop, like I said, we have the previous week lows here, guys. The previous week lows, hang on a second. The previous week lows is where we slightly front runned it by a few $100s. And when we do take a look at the previous week lows, it is sitting, it's basically a good swing failure pattern level from this low. So you would be, I would love this double bottom, to be honest. I would love it. And you don't need to go crazy because you're speculating on a, you know, a chilled long reversal for the next coming days. You know, finally to get back above 65K. So, you know, just so you understand, the risk to reward is insane, right? The risk to reward is really, really a nice swing long position that you don't have to worry about. You don't need to risk huge amounts here just so you're like checking your phone or your computer. Oh my goodness, my swing long, am I going to get stopped out? Stop loss is peanuts, guys. Stop loss is there just in case the price goes against you in the end, and you just get stopped out, and that is that, right? At a small loss. But if it does play out, then obviously you're making bank. You're making 10 times your stop loss. Then that is a little bit of gains, right? That should add up. So I like it. Previous week lows. It's kind of the last level that needs to hold, because if you're breaking from this pivot low to the pivot high, yeah, we've hit the 7/8 Fibonacci as well. You don't want to go much lower if you want to think that this is still going to continue the bullish momentum, right? You don't want to go much lower than $57,000, right? You don't want to go much lower than this. You don't want to lose this low. So without a doubt, I believe that could happen. We could have that double bottom and then get the rise, and just follow this uptrend channel like we have been doing, right? It's just why not until we break those lows. You know, we could definitely create that double bottom here. It's just, and then the bump and run pattern is playing out. So very much interested in this, guys. I'm going to keep it clear. If we swing failure pattern from this low, I will be entering a long position at that level, without a doubt. So yeah, let me know, guys, if you are interested in trading. You do have Bluffing, guys. Bluffing is a great crypto exchange. No KYC. You have the insane bonus down below of $80,000 deposit bonus. It's no KYC, just with an email and a password. You can start trading in minutes, guys. Okay, this is a deposit bonus. So once you sign up and start trading deposit, you'll be getting airdrops the more you trade, and you can use those airdrops to use for your trading fees and your trading losses. All right, so you're getting backed up here with the bonus. Check it out, guys. Just with an email and a password, you can start trading in Bluffing, okay, in a matter of minutes. Best no KYC platform that there is out there. Let's go through comment section, guys. I'm completely sorry here. Very, very, very sorry, because I haven't been taking a look at the. I want to give the pure explanation on the several setups that I would be looking at here for the long trade. I mean, and for the short trade, I'm going to keep it simple. I would love to see that high being taken, and if we are speculating that, and this is extremely complex without a doubt, that this is impulsive. You could either speculate that this is oh my goodness, it's just very, very hard regarding, I mean, unless this is multiple 1-2s right there, multiple 1-2s, and this obviously would have to be a third wave. There's no other reason to believe not to. It's their largest move down. Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, you would not want to successfully move above the 618 Fibonacci from this latest drop that we've had yesterday. If we start to tackle $61,000 and $62,000, I would be very, 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 very aware of taking any short positions here, just because of the major drop happening very, very fast, and the movement up here. If you start moving up, this could actually reverse and form a V-shaped recovery. And the main reason why here, guys, is when we see fast movement to the downside, we could also slice through all of that level very, very fast. Okay, there's multiple examples on the chart. When you form fast price action up, you can move as fast to the downside. Fast move up, fast move down. Fast move down over here, fast move up. Right? You don't leave any good levels of support, and the price action is very, very easy to slice through all of that level. It happens consistently, guys, as you can see here during the last few weeks price action, right? So this would be the scenario here. If you do manage to to break through very, very above the 618 Fibonacci, right, from the latest drop here, I would just have to believe that, you know, that there could be some risk here to get into a short trade. Just in case the price does break out. This will no longer be looking like an ABC and you're moving down, just because of the extension. So yeah, looking at Fibonacci extension, I mean, this is without a doubt the perfect storm for the ABC. I would like to see that one-to-one extension being hit, to be honest. If we start rolling down from here, then yeah, it is what it is. But I would want to see at least the one-to-one extension from this move being hit to look for a short trade. And for me, I would look for that double top. I would look for the stop loss above the high, managing risk very, very well. And then I would speculate on that possible move down to claim the lows here. You know, I would want to see at least that one-to-one extension being hit, which is around about $60,400. I mean, if it rolls down from here, well, it's okay. It is what it is. But it would be interesting to see CVD now with this movement down. If we start building up bullish CVD divergence, which is kind of the case already. You got some bullish ones right over here that haven't claimed the highs. You got some bullish ones building up just right now, short ones building up on the rest of exchanges. So you are getting shorts entering the market. So I would say that this high has a high probability in being taken in the next coming hours. So I would remain patient for that one-to-one extension just to manage risk, right? Because if you jump into a short trade here, is your stop loss here, where you're looking to get stopped out and then the price probably leaving without you, or you enter again. I don't know what your plan would be here, but my plan here would be to claim those highs one more time because of local bullish CVDs. And because I want the one-to-one extension to be hit to complete that wave. Once you start going up here to this area, I would be a little bit skeptical on that. I would be very skeptical on this rolling down. Just purely based on this move to the downside, you could just V-shape. So yeah, that's a little bit of the trading plan that I would hear for the local short. This one right over here was very, very difficult based on stop loss, right? Based on putting a stop loss, entering a short here. It's just, for me, it's not, you know, would I put stop loss above the one-to-one or no stop loss? No, there's just, if there's no stop loss, there's no trade. So I need a level where I can confidently say, you know, that would be my invalidation. So I would love to see that high being taken and see the one-to-one hit and get that rejection from the local high. And then I would say, okay, this is looking good for that ABC. I've got my invalidation. I don't want the price forming a higher low and breaking out. Then I would be happy to get stopped out. But, you know, I want to see that high taken. I want the one-to-one to be hit. I want the rejection from that local high formed a few hours ago so I can trigger that short and I know where to put my stop loss. And I'm obviously looking for the movement down to come back and fill the major drop, right? But if you entered here already, yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of where to put stop loss in this case. So yeah, that's a little bit of the scenario that I see here locally, guys, for the bearish case. So let's continue with the comment section, and yeah, let's just say hello and continue with the comment section. Let me take a look at the poll right away. What has the people voted? What have the people voted here? Where is it? What have the people voted? What do we see here? Is Bitcoin going to go to lower levels? Let me just check out the poll here. We got 59% of people saying yes, that this dead cat bounce is going to bring Bitcoin back down to the lows, right? So we are going to lower levels in the next coming hours. Obviously speculating that the lows are going to be taken here. So we've got 59% of people out of 380 votes that are actually saying that we are going to go to lower levels, right? Which is obviously the most logical thing to think, right? Obviously, you're in a downtrend. Whoever thinks that we are not going to go to lower levels, then obviously is not realizing that we're downtrending, right? So, yeah, I do believe so as well. I do believe that this is an ABC move, and that we are going to roll down in the next coming hours. Very, very likely. Okay. However, I'm already activating swing longs. I'm already activating, obviously being very, very cautious and managing risk. And the next swing long, that, you know, like I said, if you want to be in the pump and not be late to the party, right? Like I explained before at the beginning of the stream, the only two scenarios that you do have for the bullish case, and I'm going to keep it real here. The only bullish case scenario that you have is a double 1-2, but this is going to be extremely complex and very hard. You want to see insane bullish CVD divergence here and not losing this low. So, you know, like I said, the 61878 Fibonacci area is going to be the possible trigger only if you see a huge amount of shorts entering the market. Looking at the CVD, that's the only good option that there is here, and you need those insane bullish CVD divergence. If you don't have them, there's no long to be taken here. On the other side, if you do get long positions entering on the movement down, that is only going to be fuel to get that massive drop. So, and then the other one, right, this is the very, very much complex one. The other bullish case scenario would be not successfully breaking down from this low, which would be a wick, reclaim of the level, right? And then obviously looking for the local bullish CVD divergence as well as you're getting that double bottom scenario. And then you could speculate on the bump and run pattern happening. But it's all about looking at the different possibilities and knowing how to manage your risk. It's all about your stop loss. Trading is not about your wins, it's about your stop loss. Where am I going to be wrong? How much am I losing? Am I happy with that loss? Because, yeah, obviously trading can be very, very emotional, and you can risk more than you're willing to lose, as usual, right? As what most of the people do. So, and if you break down from here, right, what do we have left, right? Say that we get a major breakdown and we're coming down to the lows right over here, right? So if we form this ABC scenario, right, and you're in the short position, obviously you would want to maintain that short position if you do not swing failure pattern from the lows. So if you have it entered a short position here, you're going with the market. So you would have to have a target zone here at the lows, right? You want to target this low over here, because if you swing failure pattern from that low, you want to take profit, right? If you do form that double bottom and then you see the bump and run pattern happening in the next coming days, if you entered the short and you did not take profit, then obviously that is your problem, right? But the lows, if you do swing failure pattern, you need to take profit without a doubt. If you smash through the level, then you want to maintain still some of that position open, right? At least to this low, right? At least to this low, which could get a small little reaction bounce, okay? Which I would be expecting lower levels. There is on higher time frame a bullish case that I don't like at all, which would be an ABC flat here. I don't think this is extremely highly unlikely. I would speculate more on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expanding diagonal right there. This is what I would speculate more happening if that low is taken. But if this low is taken, an ABC flat, just because this impulsive move is very, very short in time, and you got this ABC being extremely long in time, it's just, yeah, it wouldn't be the most likely scenario if you're going to take that low is that we are going to come down to $49,000. If this low is taken, I would really believe that the Bitcoin price is going to come down to 49K if this higher low is lost, which is at $56,200. I would believe that, and obviously if you did get into the short, keep some open, because this could actually bring it the price to that $49,000 range, right? So yeah, if that level is lost, if we don't swing failure pattern from this low, you want to maintain some of that short open. If you slice through this level, then obviously you want to maintain some of that long open, but this would be another TP2 if you SFP, lock some profits. But it's the kind of trade that could get very, very ugly, right? You could, well, not everybody, a lot of people expecting a reversal, right? Or higher lows, right? And then apparently this has been a corrective structure. And then, you know, obviously starting to lose the higher lows here is not gonna, no bueno. It's not gonna be good. You'll be probably coming down all the way down to $49,000. So yeah, you would want to speculate on having some of the short open. If you shorted from higher, or you're looking for this local short like I expected, I'm going to wait patiently for that high to be taken, to see if we do create a local double top and we hit the 1-to-1 extension. Then I would say, you know, this kind of a short trade could be good, right? At least down to the lows, but also possibly breaking out and getting a major drop in the next coming days. So unless you shorted from higher levels, I know some people in the comment section told me that they did manage to enter that short position from this local this double top in the weekend. That was something that we were waiting for on a live stream, right, guys? You know, claim that high one more time, and you know, you either jump up to 65,300, 400, or we double top from Friday highs. It doesn't matter. You need the rejection you need those highs being tested again and look for the drop. This is a swing short as well. We had some local target zones, but it's a swing short position just because what if this is an ABC corrective structure, right? We're talking about the bullish case here as well, right? Either in an expanding diagonal right there, or a, you know, a contracting diagonal is still possible, because you haven't technically gone, you know, you still haven't technically gone beneath the channel, so it's losing probabilities. But what if, you know, we're talking about bullish stuff here on a higher time frame? What if this has been a big major move down and this is a WXY structure and we're going to come down to the lows again? Without a doubt, you know, if you're in that short, I would definitely leave some open, just because it could be going down to 49K if we start losing all of the levels and there's no local swing failure pattern. All of the bullish case scenarios are just not holding, and we haven't got the possible long trigger. And obviously, yeah, you lose this low, I'm going to say there's high probability in claiming that low, because the ABC flat here is just not, yeah, this is like looking for something that is not real, right? It's just when you're in denial, if you're very, very bullish and you're like, oh, well, we still got this bullish case, right? We still got this bullish case. You still got this one. You still got this one. And obviously the price has broken down to extreme low levels. And are you going to become bullish once Bitcoin's trading at 40K, right? Oh, you know, we finally broke down. Now it's bullish. And that's when you bottom out and then you reverse, right? So without a doubt, this high over here is a great swing short level, because I would hold some of that short, because if you start breaking down here, you're likely going to come down to $49,000. So yeah, you could leave some open, 20%, 30% of the position, because if you start breaking these higher lows, there's a very, very strong probability that you are going to actually come back down to test 49,000. So Let's go to 246 likes. Are you joking? We can get to 300 likes in the next coming minutes, guys. Pure education. We have different levels: confluence, risk management, invalidation, Elliott wave theory, harmonic pattern. That harmonic pattern actually played out very well. Where is it? Where's that harmonic pattern that we have been talking about here the last few days? It has to be somewhere. Where is that harmonic? I'm sure we draw that harmonic pattern here. Okay. We talked about the contracting diagonal, of course. Where's that harmonic? I'm sure the harmonic is here somewhere. We talked about the harmonic. Anyway, never mind. It is somewhere, but that harmonic pattern as well, which slightly front run the 7/8 Fibonacci. Who remembers that harmonic pattern? It would have been nice to actually take out 65,300, those lower highs. But the harmonic target, the 𝗬𝗏𝗽 pattern target right over here, right, which is coming up to the 7/8 Fibonacci. We slightly front run the 7/8 Fibonacci. This was mentioned on previous live streams and video updates a few days ago. The 𝗬𝗏𝗽 bearish harmonic pattern to reject from the $65,000 to $66,000 range and get that pullback down to the 618 Fibonacci, which obviously happened during the last 24 hours, right? Getting this major drop. This higher time frame, high probability. We got the pullback here, and the last target zone of this harmonic is actually coming all the way down to the A wave here. So yeah, if you shorted the $64,000, $65,000 range, I would leave some open of that short, because that there is a possibility of this playing out, coming all the way down to the target zone of A, right? Obviously take some profits, but it's definitely a scenario, unless we start breaking trend here and we have bump and run scenario, and then obviously we're looking still at that contracting diagonal, which is not very common at the moment, based on we're hitting the bottom of the channel. But would leave some open, guys, because maybe this 𝗬𝗏𝗽 pattern is going to play out. If you start breaking down here this pivot low at $56,000, there is high probability that you are going to get the leg down to $49,000. Okay, so whoever is in that short, obviously take some profit, but leave some open. You're in a great position, and this is a swing short trade level. This is also, apart from a day trade, it is a swing short, because this could be the high, and we could be coming down to 49k if we start breaking down those levels. So would leave some open without a doubt. Buy all the weak hands, panic selling. Absolutely. I still have my spot Bitcoin. I have not sold any Bitcoin. I haven't been buying any Bitcoin. I've been buying some altcoins. Show me your altcoin bag. What have you been buying during the last few days, guys? Let me know in the comment section. What altcoins have you been buying? Shall we take a look at some altcoins now in the next coming minutes? Let me know right away. Philip, don't forget to press the like button, he says. Absolutely. Crypto King, how are you doing? My everything world, how are you? Ghost Levy, Marvell, at what price is the bottom occur? At what price does the bottom occur? Well, there's several different trading plans that have been explained on the live stream. There's several trading plans. The most riskier one, obviously, is that 112, which I think has very low probability in playing out. We need to see insane bullish CVD divergence here on this higher low, and a very nice chilled three-wave structure. And then obviously there is the double bottom scenario, right? That is the swing long possibility. The short trade is basically right over here. I would like to see that high being taken. If we don't take that high, it's going to be a little bit of yeah, just because we've slightly front run. Bitcoin likes to front run lately certain levels, just like the harmonic, front running just by a few dollars. And also here, front running the one-to-one extension, which would be the ideal scenario to get that local double top for then look for the short trade, right? I'm still going to remain patient for that scenario, because if we do not double top from the high here and reject from the one-to-one and we start moving up, I'm going to believe that this is going to be dangerous. This is going to be dangerous to short. If we move up almost the entire drop, starting to hit the 7-8 Fibonacci and rallying up here to the trend line, I'm going to say, yeah, we could reject, but overall, it's not be interested in taking a short if we're starting to trade here at this zone above $61,000. So that would be my next trading plan. You know, get that movement to the one-to-one and then speculate that we could get that movement down to claim the lows, either with a, you know, double bottom, liquidation event, continue down. It all depends on what happens at the lows here to decide if it is a good long position, because it could slice through, guys. Okay, so it's very important to understand that we need the price action to get acceptance back above that low, and a swing failure pattern from the previous week low would be a bit of an aggressive long. Okay, it would be very, very aggressive, but I'm going to say it's a very, very valid long position, right? Previous week low, which is at 57,750. I got to say, if you want to try and catch the ultimate bottom, I'm going to say it's an acceptable swing failure pattern. It is. If you move down from that level, you start getting evidence above it, then you could obviously speculate on that scenario. So yeah, this is consolidating. Love you love you, my brother from another mother, says my everything world. Absolutely. Thanks, Andy. Ciao. Forrest Elander, thank you very much. Checked on the other exchanges, it may be double topped, says down below. This is also very possible. If we do take a look at the other exchanges, such as Coinbase, I mean, it would be the ideal scenario here to get into the short. Okay, yeah, no, on other exchanges that high has not been claimed. I want that high to be claimed and rejected based on the local bullish CVD divergence, right? We got local bullish CVDs here. I want that high to be taken so I can manage risk with my short and then speculate on the roll down in the next coming hours. So yeah, at least on Coinbase it was not hit. On Bybit it was not hit. And I really want that one-to-one extension to be hit as a minimum. Almost hit it here on Coinbase. Not much. If we roll down from here, then, you know, I got to say I missed the short. If we do roll down from here, I have to say that I've missed the short position. But yeah, I'm going to remain patient for that high and that rejection to take the short trigger, guys. You know, that is basically it. Forrest, ciao, my friend. DXY recovering a bit. Yes, DXY has been getting a little bit of pumpy action today, where we have tested the lows here from January, and we were very much aware that the price could get an instant reaction bounce days after hitting that level, and this is what is happening. So DXY in a little bit of a bounce, which is obviously not too great, right? We could see that momentum to the upside on the DXY in the next coming days, which is not going to help Bitcoin recover, obviously. And yeah, it's just we've tested a major higher time frame low, and DXY is bouncing and could bounce to higher levels, meaning that Bitcoin obviously could continue to the downside in the next coming days. Let's go. Continue. Chainlink. I've got a massive bag of Chainlink. I've got a huge bag of Chainlink. And I still believe that this is the highest probability scenario for Chainlink. Think that this $7-8 zone is a great accumulation area. 7, 8, 9. It's just for me, I think this is the zone where Chainlink could bottom out. I'm keeping it simple here. No trading, just spot buying. Okay, so spot trading, buying and holding Chainlink for the future. I don't care what it does in the lower time frame. If we do go down to $2, I would just have to hold on into my losing bags. Okay, Chainlink is the kind of cryptocurrency that I will hold to zero. I will hold to zero, right? You know, I will not sell until we hit all-time high. Will that ever happen? Well, we're just going to have to figure that out in the next coming months or years. So it's a long-term thing. So I will hold it to zero, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So I would be losing a lot of money, obviously, if it does go to zero. So we're just gonna take that chance. You need to risk it for the biscuit. What about the CME gap, bro? Let's take a look. I added 2,500 more link yesterday. 2,500? Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot of Chainlink. 2,500. That's over 25 grand, right? So you going relatively big on Chainlink. I can see that's good. Let's take a look at the CME futures gap. What is? I haven't been paying attention to the Bitcoin CME futures, but yeah, we got a CME futures gap, of course, from this drop. Yeah, the top of the gap is around about 61,800. Could we fill the gap and get the rejection? I personally don't want to play around. If we come all the way up to fill the gap, I really don't want to play around with shorts, to be honest, because I would be very much aware of a short squeeze and the bump and run pattern just playing out. So yeah, this would not be an interest zone for me to speculate on. We're going to fill the CME futures gap and then we're going to roll over. Like I said, the only short trade that I would be interested in is the local one that I mentioned here, right? Claim that high, 1-to-1 extension, and then look for that, you know, this being just a normal regular ABC and roll back down. So filling the gap and then looking for a short, I just would be very much aware. You would be retracing too much here from the drop, and this could be looking very, very interesting for a recovery. So I wouldn't be interested in a short if we go that high. Me personally, okay, you can use your own strategy, but I personally would not be interested in the short. Gap filled by midnight, yes, but possible, very much. Andy, do you consider a double top on BTC instead of the daily? About the swing short, do I consider the simple double top on BTC? Yes, absolutely. I would consider that double top here locally, just because, and I'm not a fan of local double tops and local double bottoms, just because that would be basically hitting the 1-to-1 extension, right? What I need here is the 1-to-1 extension at least to be hit for this ABC move down. I mean, if it is going to top out here and we're rolling down now in the next coming hours, I'm happy to say I missed a short, but I've got a strategy. I've got a plan. I need that 1-to-1 to be hit. I need the highs to be hit one more time, end the rejection, and then stop loss at the high, entry on the rejection, and then speculate on that roll down possibly. If it rolls down from here, then I got to say, you know, I missed out on the short. But it all has to do on stop loss. It all has to do, the main reason why I didn't short here is, and we do have a bit of a volume strategy here. We do have a bit of volume strategy on the 5-minute, on the 1 hourly time frame. Let me just take a look here on Bybit. Yeah, we do have a bit of a volume strategy here, which is basically a large amount of volume here from this drop, right? The largest volume candle on the 5-minute is this one. So where you are getting that resistance is from the highest volume drop that we've had last night or early this morning. And you had it followed by a higher volume spike right there. And that is where the price is getting the resistance, right? So yeah, you have a very, very strong high volume candle there that is providing the resistance. I mean, if you're trading volume strategy, your stop loss needs to be above the high volume spike here, which would be around about $61,000, and you would be targeting the lows to be hit based on volume strategy, right? Which you do have on the 5 minutes. You also have it on the 1 hourly time frame. Yeah, you got the two highest volume candles right over here. You got 1 and 2, and obviously the first volume candle is your level where you're getting the resistance. So you got 1, 2. The first one is your resistance level. So there is a bit of a volume strategy here on 5 minute and on the 1 hourly. And we're on the 5 minute, your stop loss, is above $61,000. I mean, on the 1 hourly is a bit of a large wick here. To be honest, not the most sexy volume strategy on the 1 hourly, but that's where you are getting resistance. You're getting resistance from that high candle. So yeah, the double top here is the best option to stay on the safe side, guys. The double top would be the safest bet here to manage risk and look for the rollover back down to the lows. So yeah. Lost 15K in last New Year crash on Litecoin. Wow, is that from your bags? That's from your holdings, I would assume. Well, if you haven't sold, you haven't lost anything. You're just underwater, right? So I'm down on some altcoins as well, guys. It is part of the game. Been buying altcoins the last few weeks, and a lot of them are down. So it's not to worry. All of my bags were in the red when I bought in 2018, 2019, 2020. COVID came. Yeah, I was in the red for a few years, but then it paid out big time. It was very, very good. No matter how long it takes, the reversal will happen at some point. So yeah, legends. Let's take a look at some news. NASDAQ files with the SEC to launch Bitcoin options trading. Options trading happening in NASDAQ. So we are seeing that. We have 110 million liquidations from the cryptocurrency market in the last 60 minutes. Well, we've had more than that in the last 24 hours. Major liquidation event. We had a lot of longs entering on DYDX, guys. This was something not good. The last 24 hours on the correction that we were having, right? On the movement down, we were having a lot of long positions entering on DYDX, on Bybit. That actually triggered this massive long squeeze, right? Outperforming previous cycles. This is what is happening with Bitcoin. We are seeing Bitcoin that's actually outperforming despite these corrective moves and speculation that the top could be in. Bitcoin is outperforming the previous market cycles, right? Based on the performance, which I'm not too sure to say if this is good or bad, right? Because we never hit all-time high before the halving as well. Never. So is that good or is that bad? Some people might believe that this market bull run on crypto has already happened. We've front-runned everything, right? And this is the top is in. Which, I would arguably discuss that, hey, maybe it is possible. The open interest on the top 3 exchanges has decreased by more than 10%. Bulls have lost over $100 million through long position liquidations. Top 3 exchanges, open interest down 10%. Obviously, with all of the longs entering the last 24 hours, then obviously we got this major long squeeze that has happened. So yeah. Bitcoin getting a bit of a drop now. Moving down. Yeah, it was a shame. Let's take a look at the yeah, we're getting CVD now that's moving down. It's a bit of an aggressive move. But, moving down a little bit aggressive. If we start holding down here in the next coming, if we start holding the 618 and 78 in the next coming minutes, hours, I mean, if it does suddenly get a massive move up, then it is what it is. But we are forming some slight bullish CVD divergence here. Not the ones that I would like to see. It's only slightly ones. It's going to be interesting. Let's see if we do see the price struggling here to move to lower levels. And I would speculate that this could be a double 1-2. Huh? I would speculate that this could be a double 1-2. You know, you're getting the shorts entering now with the drop. So if this range does hold in the next coming hours with those bullish CVDs, then it will be very, very much an interesting situation. I would want to see more shorts, to be honest. I want to see more lower lows on the CVD. They're very, very light. We're just at the lows, basically. Not on Bybit, unfortunately, but yes, on the rest of exchanges. Legends, thank you very much for joining today's live stream. CVD on the dump. Yes, it is. It is. Quick instant bounce. Now on the other side, if we do see on this bounce, if we bounce right now and we see higher highs on the CVD, it's not going to be good news. It will not be good news. I do not want to see CVD creating massive higher highs here if the price does recover for the bulls, right? Yeah, without a doubt, this is very, very aggressive, very aggressive long trade. Okay, I would really be chilled on this situation because the highest probability is this ABC. Okay, and obviously the double 1-2 hasn't got you know, there's no priority on this 1-2. So I would be really chilled and try and get in at the lowest level possible as we do continue seeing the lower lows on the CVD. If we do get a bit of absorption right now in the next coming hours and you get lower lows on CVD, that is going to be a good scenario for that breakout. But with this drop, it is very aggressive, I have to say. Mariela, thank you for joining. Legends, thank you very much for joining today's live stream. Remember that if you are interested in trading, Bybit, #1 crypto trading platform. If you cannot do KYC, you do have Bluffing. You have the best deals down below. Bluffing, best no KYC platform, proof of reserves, no fishy things with the client's funds. You do get $80,000 deposit bonus, guys. Remember, the more you deposit and trade, the more airdrops you're getting into your exchange. Check out Bluffing, guys. Best no KYC platform, in my opinion. Not much more has to be said, guys. The scenarios have been said. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you in the next one. Of course, if you want daily updates, join the Legends trading community. You got the free Discord down below. It's the first link, guys. You can join the free Discord. You also get updates right over there. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.